welcome to another amazing day at fmtraining.tv, where we're here to talk about the fantastic and wonderful FileMaker and Claris platform. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. And we have Nick. Nick is the fantastic and wonderful trainer. Frankly, he's been doing a lot of training with us over the past couple of months now. He is an amazing UI UX designer and also probably one of the most senior FileMaker developers that you can learn from in the community. So we're very glad to have him on and teaching us. So real quick today, what are we doing today? Today we are doing, what button am I clicking? The live training schedule, this one, the important one. We're doing multilingual files with FileMaker Pro with API. So we are doing 3 days of that, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Michelle Gravel is one of our fantastic viewers. He is a pretty routine viewer. He's always on YouTube.
He's on YouTube. Oh, okay.
He's on YouTube, yes. And
he's hiding on YouTube.
He is, but he broke his collarbone because I just looked over at my messages on my other screen and I see from Michelle Gravel, hello from Montreal with a painful broken collarbone. I'll do my best to follow Nick. We're very sorry, Michelle. Thankfully, these are all recorded, so you can come back and rewatch them when you're a little less high on pain meds. Legitimately, I'm very sorry. That's awful. Just unfortunate timing. With that being said, we're doing 3 days of this. Tuesday, Wednesday will be the beginning of Nick doing real world customer challenges, which will be really interesting. And then Thursday, Hans is stopping by.
Hansa.
Yes, he's doing. I don't know what he's doing this time. Actually, I should hit him up and go like, "Hey, I know you're doing something, but what are you doing?" So he's doing something performance related.
Performance related, yes.
Yeah, that will blow all of our minds. With that being said, if you'd like to support the channel, you would greatly appreciate it. We have our bundles, our FM Training annual subscription bundles. They are 100+ hours of really high energy video training content. Nick is one of the trainers on there. Richard's a trainer. Jacob Taylor's a trainer. Calvin's a trainer. All of your favorite familiar people trained on FileMaker. If you know nothing about FileMaker, you can go from knowing nothing to being a fairly confident intermediate level developer and completing your own projects with this. So with that being said, Nick, what are we doing today?
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for everybody for joining. Pretty much every time every day we have the people coming, and it's very appreciated. And so today we have, that was our Michel Gravel. This is how we pronounce his name, Michel Gravel, with somebody from the audience that gave us an idea of a topic, right? And I think it's a great topic because it's how to make a multi-language file without being guesswork. Because I saw craziness outside. Okay, craziness, completely craziness, and I understand why. Okay, so just for to understand. I'm from Europe, so Europe has something like 17 different languages: German, Italian, Spanish, French. And I personally work with multi-country, international companies, and I work with countries like Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, where they had another difficulty, which is the Arab language, where you have different type of Arab, and you have the Farsi, and you have you have a different language. So, and with the difficulty of being from the right to the left, and at that time, FileMaker in the 90s, right? FileMaker was really appreciated because it was pretty much the only software from database software that was completely compliant with multiple language, with Cyrillic, Arabs, so because FileMaker was using the system, System 7 at that time, to do the language. So I'm very familiar with this. Since the beginning, I do that with FileMaker pretty much. Since FileMaker 4, I have to deal with multi-language. So I tried all the technique possible. Okay. And there's only one that works. Okay, and you can argue there's only one that works, And that's technique I'm using since like 15 years. And I don't know if you remember on FileMaker server I don't know if it's still there, the FM server sample. So you had a file on the server that was multi-language, okay? And so I built one for FileMaker 12 that was multiple language using that technique. And also, I built something really complicated that was the getting started file. I don't know if you remember, at one point, FileMaker had this getting started file that was, you could try FileMaker as a play stuff, remember, I don't know if you remember the getting started. Okay, so that file was a FileMaker file, multi-language, using that technique too. Okay, so the technique is approved and tested, and so the idea of a multi-language file is to build something very complicated, something that it's so complicated that you give up. And I know that many people, they give up because they had pretty much one layout for every language, pretty much. They do that because they give up. But then, like Michel told me on an email, right? He said, the problem I have, it's the buttons, it's the dialogues, everything, right? It's a big problem because, when you have multiple layouts, it's not covering the problem of multiple dialogues. It's not covering it. So what you do like if language is this, you have this dialogue. Else if language is this, you have this dialogue. Else if so it's a guesswork. It's a guesswork, and when you do if you do a change or modification, you have to go through all the scripts and stuff. It's not possible to maintain a complex layout or complex solution with this system, right? Do you understand why? Because imagine that you have 10 language, right? And you have 10 layouts, and if you do modification in one layout, you need to do that in 10 layouts, right? So it's not sustainable. So let's go to the point. So let me share my screen right quick. So yesterday I said that I will use the Launchpad, but I didn't. I prefer to use a new file because I want to remove all the distraction out of the thing. So what are we going to do during that 3 days? Today we are going to learn the technique itself. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to learn the value list, because we have the value list issue and the dialogue issue, the tooltip issue, the placeholder issue. So we have many problems here to solve, right? So and so that tomorrow, the value lists. And Monday we're going to learn how to get the translation, a language like this, like this, with an API, with a translations company that I love because it's the best in the world. It's DeepL, DEEPL. Okay, it's the best by far. And I learned Spanish using DeepL. I learned the language because they have artificial intelligence. It's not like Google that says, "Oh, hello, how are you?" and it will translate another language word by word. Which doesn't work. We have different ways to formulate phrases and stuff like in different countries, different language. So DeepL is the best by far in the world to do the translation. And they have an API, which is great. They have a phone app, they have a computer app, a website, and an API. So, and pretty simple to understand, by the way. So today we are going to learn the technique. Okay. So the technique, okay, is to prevent to have billions of tables and billions of relationship, right? Or stuff like that. We don't want that. We don't want to have complex things. We don't want to deal with things. We want something very simple. We want one unique we want one unique link relationship, right? We want one table with pretty much nothing in the table. That's what we want. We want something simple and something fast and something that we can change on the fly, you know? So that's what we want. So the problem we have with the translation when we use relationship as translation technique is that it's difficult to say, I want that text to point to one record. So you imagine that you have a list, you have records, and for each word like this, you put a record. Right? The problem is how I do to point to one record here and one record here and one record here is not possible. Otherwise, you need one relationship per word, right? Per string, you need one relationship per string. So it's not possible. I saw people doing virtual lists and stuff like that. I saw people doing variable and stuff like that. It doesn't work. It won't work. It's complicated. It won't work. No. Okay. So because you have the problem of loading, you know, when you load the layout, right, for each layout, because we have to take care of this, right? So the idea is to use a relationship. So we say we have a global with the current language, right? Let's put en for now, and we want to point to one relationship. For one relationship, very simple relationship like this. Okay, language code with language, right? So one relationship, very simple, based on one global. So why global? Because we want this relationship. Because I want to see, for example, I'm in Colombia. We're speaking Spanish, so I want to the system in Spanish. And Michel Gravel in Canada, in Montreal, wants the system in French. And you, Marge, in the United States, you want in English. So that's why we use a global. I use, I put en, Michel would put fr, and Marge would put en. Okay, so that's why we use a global. So we have a global field. So now the idea is this. I want for each record, okay, for each record is language. So we have one record per language. And you put here into a multi-value field. So you have a multi-value field. I put 100 here. We can see here. I put 100, but I'm showing only 10 because I don't want to put But you can put as many as you want, right? So you have one field that is multi-value field, and in each field you put what it is. Okay, so it's first name, last name, status, department, company, address, city, postal code, country, right? So that is in English. So what is in French, for example? Okay, it's prénom, nom, statut, département, société, adresse, ville, code postal, pays. Entonces, because I'm speaking so many languages. So now you got the idea. So what we do now? So we have, if I go there, I am in en. Okay. So if I go through the relationship language, and I get the list of, because list on multi-value field will give you all the values, right? So what I have this, okay? Because, so see, I have here, I have first name, last name, okay? Because I am in English. But if I'm in French, it changed because I have other, what's the name? Other values, okay? So now that we have this, so we see, so why they're multi-value? And now I'm going to show you why. Here I have first name, last name, okay. Right? So here, I'm going there. I'm going to merge a field, okay? Merge, I'm going to merge a field based on my language, and I'm going to look for the labels. So what this will return, it will return, sorry. It will return prénom because I am in French, but here it will return first name because I'm in English. So what I can do now, okay, so that's the first name. I'm going there and I'm using this technique. I'm going there and I'm putting bracket, 2 brackets. What happened here is going to select the second value of the multi-value field, because remember, I have here this, it's a multi-value field. So let's put 10 vertical. It's a multi-value field. But with this technique here, so the first we can put that if you want, but it's not necessary. You know, and it remove it. It removes it because it's not necessary. The bracket 1 is not necessary. If you don't put bracket 1, that will be the first select. Okay. So now we continue, right? And we say 3, and we say 4, and we say 5. Okay. And we say 6, and we say 7, and we say 8, and we say 10, 9. Okay. So now, if I change the language, bim, I have my labels. So now you understand now UX. Why I'm talking many times why I came with that technique here, why I came with that design. You know, let's dynamic guides. Yeah, I wanted that show guides. So why I came with that design? Why I came with pretty much the label on top of the field? Because I can use the width of the field as a width of the field as a label as well, because it's more comfortable to do that way, you know, especially when you use this technique here. So you can have, see, you have the width, and the width here, and the width here, and the width here. Why? Because it's easier, because here we have a problem here. Because normally, okay, in French, we don't say nom, we say nom de famille. This is complete. So you understand, so we can get different length of text as a label. So that's a problem when you have this on the side here, because if you have small like this, you know, if you have something small like this, you can run into what we call truncation based on the language. And so you need to say, okay, I'm putting more width here to have more width, I'm putting, so, and then you have kind of a space like this, and you don't know why you have this space. It doesn't look good. It's not practical, right? It's not practical. It's not easy. So that's why I came with this ID here, that then I have so, but FileMaker can do that for you. So how FileMaker can do that for me, right? So you can do this and you say, okay, you removed all, you have the field here, and here you have an option here. It will put the name, the label on top of the field. So you do this. So I want the last name, first name, department, company first, right? So first name, so you have like this, right? And then you want the address, and then you want the status, right? And then you want the address here, and then you want the city, right? And then you want the postal code, right? And then you want the country, right? So you have the address here, your status, and then you can have the last name, first name, the department, company. So you can rearrange this and you can do whatever you want. The first name like this, you can have this, okay, the status alone and the address, right? So now we have all the length of the field as a string here. So now it's easy for me, right, to just, copy paste and put that here, right, like this. So I can copy paste this, I could move the thing, but so you have like this and like this, and but I think the status is not, the status was a third, yes. So that's the third. Okay, so I have a technique for that. So that's good. I have a technique for that. When you don't know, because you don't know the first, but that's why you put that on your layout, and then you use this. You say show sample data. In layout mode, it's going to show you what it is, so the third, its status, right? So I need to put the status field into the third. So this is the status field. So I need to put that in the third field, right? So I put that here, right? And here, this will be the third, okay? Because you have the list here. Now it's showing you what it is, right? So that is the departments. So the department should be 4. So you say, okay, I'm putting 4, right? Right? And then you have what's the name? You have the company, right? So that's the company. So the company 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5. So now let's put ourselves into English for better understanding. Okay. First name, last name, status, department, company, right? And then we have address and stuff like that. This is okay. Okay. So using that technique here, you put your translated you put your translated strings here, right? With this field, you put the field here, and then with the show sample file, you know what it is, right? You know what it is, and then you can put yourself. So now here, you understand now, so I can remove this and I can go to layout mode. So now I have first name, last name, status, department, company, and I can change, boom, right? Oh, yeah, I forgot to put that here. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 8 and 9. 9 here. So we can resize, and now we can remove this if you want. So now you see what it is, right? So you have everything changed based on the language, right? So do we have any questions so far on YouTube, Twitch? Okay, no questions.
No, we're
okay,
good.
so,
I got people the demo file. Wait, no, we got one from David Angel, which I just
oh,
got lost
okay,
in the
yeah,
chat. Using
okay.
a repeating field? Question mark.
Yes. So this is a repeating field on your string table. Where you put your label is a repeating field, and you call the repeating fields, right? You call, let's put that like this. You call the repeating fields with this technique here. It is better to use that technique instead of using this technique, because we could have done this. Put the label as a field and not a merge field, and then go there and say you want the 2 out of 2, right? Right. And then you go there and you say, okay, see, it's more complicated, and you want 3 to 3. It's complicated, and to place this is complicated. I personally prefer, because it's the same. We return the thing, right? So, but it's better to use those merge fields. Typically, I don't have what's the name? Typically, I don't have that big. I'm putting that smaller. So here, see. So you have a better, so that you can put that smaller. Okay. So you have this smaller, but if you have a doubts of what it is, that's the beauty of the technique is this, that if you have a doubts what it is, you can show sample data and boom. So now you know, okay, it's first name, last name, right? On layout mode, right? Layout mode, you can see what it is, right? So sometimes, it happened to me, or it would happen to you. You misplace, like I did, you misplace the title with, the address with company. I don't know. You misplace the number of the repeating field, right? But this makes everything extremely simple, because you implement that in no time. Because what it is, it's one field, one relationship, boom, it's done. It's that simple. That's it. And you have your multilingual things. Can you show again how the label names are edited? The name, yeah. So we have a question. So you go there. So here, for example, in French, I said this is non-famille, right? And I want to change that. So you show your language strings. You go there and you say, no, it's not this. I want just this. Boom, changed. There's nothing to do, right? So now we have another difficulty, but very simple. It's simple. Let's say I have 2 layouts, because let's say you have 10, 15 layouts in your, you don't have only one layout, you have 2, 15, I have a solution with 50 layouts. Editable layouts, and I have multiple card style window. And so how you do that, right? Very, very simple. Okay. Here, I have a global field. I have 2 global fields. I have one global field. The other one, it's the current layout name. It's the current layout name. And this is not, and it's not editable. So I am in the layout translation. But let's say I have another layout. I have a new table. I have the project table, right? Delete. I have a new table. I have the project table. And this project table, I have I don't know, our title, dates, for example, I'm just making up a date and summary, something, our date, summary, title, or owner, summary text. So I have fields, right? In another layouts, right? So now, so I have a new layout here, projects. So I'm to put that here, and those are projects, okay? Projects, and to make the thing clean, I want to change this. Oops. Oh, I have to change this and put this as T06 project. Okay, so this is my anchor buoy, right? This is my anchor buoy, and this is going to the T06. Okay, so now I have another layout, projects, right? Completely different layout. What do I want to do? Here, on each layout, you have an on layout enter and on mode enter the same. You have oh yeah, and I need to put those two on that layout as well, right? Those two on that layout, right? So those two need to be on every single table where you need translation, right? Globals. So now, right, I'm here in projects, and I'm duplicating my what's the name, my relationship here, and I called it, if this is coming from project to language, using the language code, and it's 060, right? Using the code. So I'm going there, and I'm doing the same. So I'm linking the current language with the language code, and the current layout with the layout name. Okay? Now, I need, each time I'm going to enter that layout, the new one, I need to have, let's build it 52, removing this, changing this awful, disgusting, and I'm putting this like this, okay, and the date. Okay, so, and this is current layouts, and going there, and this is going there. Okay, so I'm putting that this, I'm putting this like this, it's navigation text. This is navigation edit box, and this is now our pop-up menu and language, right? So I have this, right? This is my project. So I'm in project, right? So in project here, copying this, boom, boom, boom. So I'm in projects, okay? But each time I'm entering that layout, I want, this is the way I'm doing it, but you have other ways. I have to make sure that, each time you enter the layout, you can do differently, but I will explain why I'm doing this. On mode enter, I have this, and I said, go to modify this field, right? And on mode enter and on layout enter, you have this, the same script. So why I'm doing this? Boom. Now I have project here. Why I am doing this? Because now I have, here I'm in translation, here I'm in projects, right? So, and I want translation as well. So now I'm going to the string here, right? And I'm going to add a new en, but now this, oh yeah, I need to change that like this. But now I want this to be connected with the layout name projects. This is now connected to the project layouts because, remember, here I have a relationship based on the current language and current layouts here, and here the same current language and current layouts. I need to add this. So I have a relationship with two predicates here, language layouts, and here language layouts, right? So that's why it works, right? So because here, this global, I have the two link here, the project, the name of the layout, and the name and the code of the language. So now I can go to my language string and say, so what do I need? What do I need as a, here? I need owner. I need summary. I need title. And I need date, okay? So now I want the same, but I want French. So I say French for projects. And I say propriétaire. Okay. Summary. Oui, titre et date. That's the same. So I have two languages now, right? So I have for translation, I have this. For project, I have this, right? So now, if I go to that, and I'm doing the same treatment that I've done before, right? Remember? So I've done this. I go there, I paste this. So this one, and I want the label. And I want 10 of this. And I want to show the, do I show sample? Yeah. So this is, I'm going to merge this with the project with the T06D, right? And the same here, I'm going to merge this, but this is the second layer, I'm going to merge this, and this is the third. And I'm going to merge this, right? And this is the fourth, right? Fourth. So now I can do this, and I can resize. Oops. This I put that smaller. I don't like those to be that big. Put 10, right? So now I have my translation. If I put FR, it change, but based on the layouts, because otherwise, if you don't do this, it can be very complicated. Now, this is simple to read, and I'm going to show you how freaking simple to read it is, because we are in a list view. This is the list view. So now what I can do is this. I can do this. I can add a part setup, right? And I can sort the part setup by the layout name. Part setup, create subsummary here, printable. I put that here, and I'm putting this like 16. I don't want borders. No of this. So now I'm sorting this by layout name. Boom. Project ENFR, translation ENFR, right? You got it? So it's freaking simple now to understand what's going on, right? So if you want to do the thing great, you can remove this from here, right? Because you need a number, you need something to recognize. You put that 10 here, and you put that gray, and you put that here. So now, let's put this like this. Okay, boom, boom, and we have tuk, 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 tuk. Okay, boom. So now you see why I'm going to list view, because now to manage, if you have 10 layouts, 15 layouts, it's very simple. And you can even have a search box here, say, oh, I want translation. So like this, you know, oh, I want only translation. Okay, boom, you have it, right? You have translation, it's okay, right? So you can have a search box that search only on the name, right? So you can have you can organize your stuff, but you understand how question from YouTube. What if you have many tables in your solution? You need multiple relations. Yeah, you need that. That's the beauty of the of the anchor buoy. You need one link, one relationship per buoy, per anchor, per anchor. You have contacts, project, boom, and you have account, and you have one, and each anchor where you have a layout attached to it, okay, you need one relationship. Don't tell me that it's a big deal, right? Because look the relationship. You copy paste two fields, you do the relationship and go, right? Go. That's it. Two globals per anchor, per table, right? And one relationship. So it's not a big deal. No, it's not. And then you have this layout, which is easy to maintain. And what about generic labels? You don't need generic labels. The generic label is EN. I don't know. If you're French, your generic label will be French. There's no generic labels. There's labels, and they're all translated. English is a language as another one. Your main language is a language as the other one. You don't have the generic, and you have you don't have. If I label, did I understand the question? Generic label. So now, because the time is running, I thought I will have enough time, but I think I will spill a little bit for tomorrow. But now you understand, because that's for the label. What about the buttons? What about the button? Well, there's many techniques to do this. Okay. I'm running out of time, so I'm not going to, you add a new field here, and you call that buttons. It is a multi-value, I put 100, but you can put whatever you want. So now I have another field, which is buttons, right? That's buttons. Okay, so you can, what's the name? Present it differently if you want. You present the way you want. But let's say we have on the translation, we have a validate button, and we have a cancel button, right? And we have a print button, and we have a delete button, and we have a new button, and we have a duplicate button. Okay. And that in French will be valider, annuler, imprimer, supprimer, nouveau, dupliquer. Okay. So, and now I have the buttons. So what about the buttons here? So we go to translation, and I have a button here, and a nice button. So I'm going to use the same technique here. I'm going to show my button here. going there and going. I want to see the buttons, right? So I'm going to see the buttons. Okay, I have my buttons here. So okay. So I have a validate. I have a okay. So now I have a button. So let's say I have a button here, the blue button. I want the button here. I want the first one. So this is, let's say this is a new. This is new. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This is a new button. So I'm going there and I'm putting this and I'm going, this is a 5. This is a new button. Okay. This will be the new button. Something broken here. Right? Should have shown me the, no, it's okay. It's weird. On the button, it doesn't show the sample. They might have a bug here. Hey, Claris, you have a bug. Yeah, there's a bug. Why I can see it? It works, right? So I have a new button here. So let's say now I want the cancel button. So that will be the 2. Okay. So the cancel button, I want the defaults. And that will be, let's say I have a print button, right? Print button. And let's say I have a delete button. So delete is 4. And the delete is red. And this will be, okay. And let's say I have a duplicate button, which is the 6. Okay. So now we have button here. Let's put blue. So we have, okay, all, nouveau, annulé, imprimé, supprimé, nouveau, validé. Oh, validate, we don't have validate. Okay, let's put validate. Validate is the first. So we learned that the first, we don't need that. That would be the first by default. So we have all our buttons. So if I change my language, boom, boom. Okay. So now that good, right? That good. So you understand, you do the same for projects. So you have the button for the projects, right? So you can enhance this, you can modify this, you can, do whatever, but the technique is there the same. So now you understand something else. Big problem, the dialogues, right? So we have a dialogue here. So let's put a dialogue, right? So let's have a dialogue, right? Dialogue. The dialogue, and that was a question from Michel. Okay, so we have a show dialogue, right? And we go there, we go to the string, and here I'm adding a new, duplicate this, and this will be dialogue, right? Oh, stupid me. That will be dialogue, right? Okay. So I have my dialogues here. So you understand what I'm going to do, going to add a field here. Those my dialogues. Okay. Those my dialogues, right? So we have the same technique here. And I'm putting, the thing. So look how it works. Okay. So I have now, let's solve this by layer name. Okay. So let's go to translation. Okay. I'm in translation. So now I have a dialogue. Okay. Create new record. Okay. And here we have the dialogue, right? Create new record. And we have, you are going to create a new record. Do you want to proceed? Right? And then, so you have this. So you put all your dialogues like this, okay? But I'm showing one. So that in French will be créer nouvelle enregistrement. OK? Créer. Here, OK, vous allez créer un nouvel enregistrement. Vous continuez. Okay, so we have the question here, we have the question here. So now I have two buttons, right? I have two dialogues, right? So I'm going back to my translation here, right? And I'm going here, and this is new, create new record, okay? And in this, I have a show dialog. So what I want to do, I'm doing the same here, right? So because this will be the show create new record in translation, because you understand you need to create new record in every single table, right? Okay, translation. Okay. Okay, so here I'm going to my code, I'm saying dialog, and I want the first. And here I want the second. And here, what do I want? I want the button that goes with it. So if I go to my translation here, I have a validate button here. That's what I want, right? I have the validate button here. So I'm going there, and I'm going to my D here, and I'm going to the button, and here I want the first one, which is the validates. And here I want the second one because it's the cancel. So here I'm going to call the dialogues, the dialog field of the repeating field. And here I'm going to call the buttons because it's a button, right? It's a button. So you can do this if you want. But otherwise, you can repeat in the dialog multi-value, you can do that. But I wanted to show you that this is possible, right? This is possible. So of course, it is possible to do the same here for the specify, what's the name? The labels here, right? For the label, that's why they all specify. Because if you have, if you have an input, for example, let's say here I have an input, right? I'm going to my table, the T05 table, and I want to input the first name, and I want to input the last name, right? The last name. But I want the label that goes with it. So I'm going to call my D, like 05D. I'm going to labels. That will be the first, right? And here, that will be the second. Do you see how freaking simple is this? So now, and you can say if gets last method choice equal 1, new record. Okay. Okay, because it's the one, the first that says yes. Okay. So, okay. So normally I'm doing things simple. I'm trying not repeat myself. And then after that, after some time, you learn by heart, right? The thing like this. So demonstration. So here we have a new button, right? This is definitely a bug of FileMaker because they should show so new, right? So we have a new button here. So new buttons, we go perform the scripts, create the translation, right? And I said this, boom, right? Okay, look, no. This will be here. New, I do this, and then if two, delete. I knew something was wrong. Okay, so I want to create a new, let's put me in English, new. You are going to proceed a new record. Do you want to proof? So look, it's a good technique. Okay, I have many typos. Do you want to create? Okay, boom, change. Bam, you go there. Bam, you fix your stuff. And first name, last name is coming, right? Validate, cancel. Now, I'm saying French, nouveau, voulez-vous créer un enregistrement, voulez-vous continuer, prénom, nom. Ah. And how many times it got me to create the dialogue? No time, right? And Monday, when I will show you how you can get the language from the API, you can make your solution in multi-language in less than an hour. Okay, to build the structures and stuff like that. Okay, you need time if you have 200 dialogue, right? But if you start from scratch using that technique, is so freaking simple. Yeah, so going forward, okay, so you can go and continue this technique because we have to take care of the tooltips, because I know people love tooltips. It could be useful. So the same technique, that's exactly the same technique here. So you add this tooltip here, the field tooltip, right? And this will be a tooltip now. And so you go the same, right? You go there and you say, okay, create a new contact. Delete current contact. Print contact layout. I don't know, put whatever you want. Here we have in French, créer un nouveau contact. Non, il n'y a pas de. Supprime le contact actuel et imprime le modèle contact. Okay, so we have the tooltip here, right? So now we do the same thing. So this here, I want to put a tooltip here. I'm doing the same thing. I'm going there and I say, okay, tooltip, and I want the first, right? Which the first was create new, right? So we have the delete here, right? So we do the same. So that will be the second. So I'm going there, tooltip, and I say, okay, well, I want the second one. And then prints, where's my print layout? Here. So this is a print button. So this is a print. I'm going there, boom, and tooltip, and this will be the third. And I have my tooltip. Oh, boom. So nouveau, créer un nouveau contact, imprime le modèle contact, supprime. As if I change language, new, create a new contact, print contact layouts, delete current. So we covered, and of course we can, let's finish it since we're here. Then I'll give you a sample file to the people. Language here, you say, okay, I want placeholder. Okay. On placeholders. So that will be exactly the same technique. You have one here. And see, you can add your stuff as you go, and it's no time here. So you go there, you say, okay, I want this. Now I want you guessed it, the placeholders. Okay. So the placeholders, I don't know. We can, it's enter our first name here, for example. I'm in project translation here. So enter last name, enter department. Okay, you got the point here. Okay, so you got the point, the placeholder. So we have saisissez le prénom ici, copy paste le nom, et ici saisissez le département. Okay, so and I have the two language here. So now I want a tooltip. So I'm going there, and I say, okay, I want this. Same thing, going to the placeholder. So that will be the first one. Here, I want the second one. And here, I want the third one. Okay, that tooltip, right? Oh, sorry. This is not what I want. It's a placeholder. Sorry, placeholder, but it's the same. Okay, same technique here. This is the second one. See, that's what is cool, this technique, because you, for the placeholder, you paste, you say bracket 2, and here you paste and you said bracket 3. Boom, now you have this. So if I create a new record, boom, I have English, French. So you see how freaking easy it is. And because it is based on the entity, it's based on the the anchor. So imagine that you have related what's the name? Folders and stuff like that. It's easy because you have the translation already done. You use the translation based on the name of the layout you want. So it's very simple. So why? So before we go to get the people to write questions right now, why I'm doing this technique with the global and the trigger that goes, inside, why I'm doing this, right? Because sometimes it happens, you do this, you go layout mode, right? And you say, oh yeah, translation, for example, you change the name of the layouts. So now, boom, everything broken. So you need to go there and change this and this. So you change the records here. Normally I have normally I have a construction better that you can just select here. It will change all the translation and stuff like that. But that you can build yourself. That's all only to show you how this works. So but I don't have to take care of anything here. You know what I mean? Because the script is taking care for me. I change the name, look, I'm going to do it back. I'm going to layout mode. That's why I have the trigger on both on layout enter and on mode enter. Why? Because I have two ways to change the layout names. I can go there, change the layout name here. Okay? So you want a refresh automatic, right? Or you can go, most of the time you go there, you edit this, and you go layout mode, you edit this, you change the name, and see here, see the current name. And I'm going to run the debugger because I put on mode change, on layout enter and mode change, I have two trigger. If I go back to browse mode, boom, I have an on mode enter, and then I said set the field, this field for that layout with the current name. So when I do this, boom, it changed the name automatically. So I don't need to take care of this. I don't need to change the script. I don't need to do anything, right? Just I need to go there, right? If you have a lot, you find match records, right? You change this and you replace. Boom, it's done. Boom, right? It's very simple, boom, it works. So you don't, if you change the name of the layout, you don't need to take care of anything, just to take care of this, right? So here, so you have nothing to do pretty much, right? So questions.
Did you get the earlier one from Ruben? About
Ruben.
will things break if you change the name of a field of a table?
No, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty. I can change the name of this. I can go there and say, change the name of this. I don't care. If you change the name of the field, oops, sorry. I want to hide this, not this. If I change the name of the field, I can validate, doesn't care. It's there, it doesn't care. You can change the name, you can do whatever. It doesn't care because the label is not related. The label is not related to the field. It's related to whatever record in the value, in the multi-value, in the repetition you put here. So if you change this, doesn't care. We don't care, right? But of course, if you reuse a field and you say this is no longer a company, but it's I don't know, it's a city, for example, then you need to change here, of course, right? That makes sense, right? But it's pretty easy. What's the name to have? So I like to get this separation with layouts and record and language and layouts, because you don't want one record for every single layout of your solution. Otherwise, it will be a nightmare to go and per layout. It's okay because we typically we have like this, right? Let's take a typical layout. We have phone, we have emails, we have and we have buttons here, and we have a value list here. That we will see tomorrow. And so you see, you have button here, and and we have button here. So you can have one record for one layout. I think is enough. Add contact. You have all the buttons like this. But pretty much when if you organize yourself well, for example, that because, for example, in that example, we have add contact in many layouts, in 2-3 layouts. So you put add contact in the 5th position of your multi-value field, and you put on the 5th on every single layout. That the 5th will be add contact, or pretty much I'm doing this for the buttons. The first is add new. The second is delete, so I'm doing like this, and I'm keeping the same. So I know by heart that, it's the third, print is the third, new is the first, right? So I can, you can do this, right? So it requires some organization, of course. It requires to go and see which text you want. You can reuse the same text like I did. I can reuse validates, I can use validate for many things. Button dialog, button in a CalStar window, cancel, print, delete, new, duplicate. I mean, you can, if you have the word cancel once, go pick up. It's very simple. So, I have a buttons. Button number 2, boom, you put on dialogue, you put on the, whatever you want. So, questions?
We got nothing on YouTube and Twitch, and then on Discord, Ruben says, thank you, gotcha, cool. And then we've got one from David. Did you, on startup script test, update all the global fields of the last used language? ?
Yeah, okay, so this is up to you. I I typically use this. That's why I'm typically use this. I'm using the get language of the system. Okay, get system language. So based on this, I like to use code en. I will explain that to you Monday why I use codes, right? But you can say left, you do this and this and this. So I mean, and you can say if you want, you can say upper did this. So you are in en. So you can say at the beginning, or say, okay, I'm in en. So boom, automatically it puts that on en. Of course, you need to have a script that populate all those globals, but it's not a big deal. You have I'm doing that all the time. All my constructions are I have a starter script that populate globals that I need, and so it's normal. It's a normal process. So tomorrow I can build it if you want. That it automatically will do that. So, but I can do it right now if you want. It's very simple. So at the beginning you have a script that says so. It's a trigger on window on first window open, right? Startup. Okay. So what you do, because globals, you can, so you can set fields. So you have the first set field you do contact. You have the current language, and you can do this, right? But the best will be to do this. You set a variable, and you say current language. Then you can call it. You know what I mean? You put that here in the current language global variable, right? So then you can call this, and you say, okay, this I want this, because this will be available to you in the future. You say, okay, I'm going to projects. You go to all the entity that needs that, right? Language, right? So you have this. So now you put that here. File options. Okay, and you put that here, and you said on first window open startup. You close this, close this, close this, close this, close everything. Translation, you open it, admin, and admin, boom, and you see that en is populated, right? And everything works, right? So it did the job, and I have here data viewer. I know my current language is en. So that means, if you need anything, if you need a script or if you need a calculation, call that global variable you are in en, right? That it's very simple, right? Does that answer the question? No, auto entry calculation doesn't work here, David, because you need a trigger, right? So no, the best is to have, in all my construction, I have a starter script that's populate the global what I need, the current user, the current language, or the current platform. You have a starter script that do that for you and populate everything. The name of the layout will be automatically populated as you enter it. That's why you don't have to take care of it. Project, when you enter, set the fields. So I have a unique trigger that, because I have a set field by name, so I have a name I put the name of the field in the parameter, and that's it. And then I'm going there and say, okay, boom, and I have everything working. French, boom. English, boom. Right. So yeah. So tomorrow we are going to deal with our friend here, their value list, right? And Monday we do the translation from API, right? But I need to have everything explained before to go to the API. Okay, so if we have no question, we ready to David Angel. What are you typing? Ruben. Oh, we have Jim Watts. Okay, what? Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Got it. The global language field automation with the global variable. Yeah. What do we have? Several people typing. Several people. Thank you, Nick. Okay, so we have the thank you. Thank you very much. Look, I hope you appreciate this because this will get you to get. I got everything built in less, during the webinar pretty much, right? So it's not complicated. You have absolutely no complication. You have no scripts. That's the beauty. You have no triggers, and you have no script to change this. Just change this. It's no script. There's no script here. There's no triggers. There's absolutely no trigger. Nothing here. You have no complexity. We deal with buttons. What I love in this technique, it's the same technique. It's the same approach. It's the same way for buttons, label, what's the name? Tooltip, placeholder, dialogs is the same technique, right? The value list is a little bit different, but it will use also relationship. So no triggers, no virtual list, no virtual crap. No SQL. No, it's no JSON, and no. It's pure FileMaker. You change one global, and you have your value list, right? So tomorrow, value list.
Which will be awesome. Thank you very much, Nick. We greatly appreciate it.
No, Ruben, if you want, Ruben say want JSON and SQL. If you want that, I'm going to ban you from the live stream. Yeah. But if you want complexity, go somewhere else. No, it's this technique I'm using is for 15 years, so it's approved and it's bulletproof, right? That why I'm super confident, because I have hundreds of solutions outside that use that technique here. The combination of the secrets, the secret ingredient of the recipe was the combination of the relation, the record, and the multi-value field, right? The multi-value field makes all the difference, instead of having records for each words, right? Or each dialogue or each button. You can't do that. It doesn't work. Okay, so see you tomorrow, guys.
Yep, see everyone tomorrow.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.